I'm Gary Al Smith, and after 26 games and 47 goals, it's been a pretty interesting African Cup of Nations. There have been lots and lots of talking points across all the 6 groups, and we are here to do a review of the activities at the group stage. What has been your favorite performance in terms of individuals and teams, and also the teams that made it, the final 16? Which of these teams do you think will drop, and so on and so forth? Oroku Ampofo is here with me to look at all those pertinent issues. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you too.
So, at the start of the tournament, did you think those who have made it to the last 16 will be those who will make it?
Yeah, in terms of expectation, I think it was highly met, most likely because of the change in the format, which would allow the best third place teams, 4 out of the 6, to qualify. So I did expect quite a number of the big teams to be there, because there was a bigger margin for error, and none of them did disappoint. But I think one team that I didn't cross my mind would probably top their group and go into the giant side of the tree, which I think we'll be seeing later, is Madagascar. And they really did shock not just Africa but the whole world. And coming into their first Africa Cup of Nations and topping a group with Nigeria is really incredible. And I think that they have been the standout team so far, and the surprise for me in that round of 16 picks.
Right. So that's the surprise. He said Madagascar. I doubt anybody else will disagree with that. However, if you would take the team that shocked you on the other side of the spectrum that did not do well,
that would be hard, and aka harsh from me, because I think it would be South Africa, and they're only there by the skin of their teeth. They know that they probably do not deserve to be in the round of 16 if you take a good look at the football that they played. Fine, they were in a group with Ivory Coast and Morocco, and it would have been extremely difficult to outshine these teams. But I'm talking about how they played their football, and they scored just 1 goal, won just a game, and still managed to qualify. They were actually the last best third place team, and they were hoping for Angola not to get a draw yesterday. So although they did qualify, I've not been impressed with their style of play. And I think that they've been really poor in attack, and they would need to mighty improve, especially because they're going to face Egypt in the round of 16.
So South Africa will be playing Egypt, the host nation. What do you see here? Madagascar and Nigeria. Let's take a look at Nigeria as well. They've booked a date with Cameroon, of all teams. Cameroon are the side that have been responsible for Nigeria's woes in the African Cup of Nations than anyone else. All 3 finals that they lost were because of Cameroon, who won those on their way to their 5 titles as well. And Cameroon also happened to be the bogey side of the Black Stars. So Cameroon, yeah, they are problems for the giants of West Africa, namely Nigeria and Ghana. But let's look at Nigeria. How have you seen their performance so far?
I think that they did managed to paper over their cracks in the first 2 games. If you look at the nature and when they won those games, both of those games they won by a single goal, and they both came in the latter stages of the game. So they weren't playing as well in terms of creating chances in their first few games against Burundi and who I think I've forgotten their second opponent. But yeah, they were expected to.
So
of course,
in this group, Madagascar, Nigeria, Burundi.
Yeah. And then the last opponent, yeah, I cannot seem to recall that. But Nigeria were supposed to, probably top out this group, winning 9 points and probably with a heavy goal difference.
Guinea.
But Guinea. Yeah, Guinea. Thank you for that. So, of course, 34 teams, a lot to memorize now. But yeah, against Guinea and Burundi, they won 1-0 in both games. And they weren't so impressive. And I think that their luck did catch up with them in the game against Madagascar, where you could clearly see that despite the huge gulf in quality on paper, is Madagascar who really did show that so-called quality on the field. So Nigeria themselves would be kicking themselves in the foot, because now they finished second and have to play Cameroon, and are now in a very tricky side of the round of 16 table.
Okay, so that's what we are seeing. Tomorrow we'll take a look at the groups in detail. Today we are looking at a review of the group stage. Now we will look at the round of 16 going forward and do a more speculative analysis of the situation. That will be tomorrow by this time, though. Quickly, we've got some news coming in that Asante Kotoko have, well, done what Asante Kotoko does. They have parted ways with CK Akono. This is the man who took the job 9 months ago, and we understand that it's done. I mean, he has even spoken to a Kumasi-based radio station to say that he is no longer the coach of the club. Oreku, what were the circumstances? I saw you talking about it on your social media as well.
Yeah, so I think he spoke to Europa FM earlier today, and he was saying that what Kotoko management presented to him was that they still think he's a good coach, but they're bringing in someone else, and then they want CK Akono to move up to a technical director role. And then he's like, hey, what are you trying to tell me? If you believe in my capabilities, you will still keep me as coach. So clearly we are not on the same wavelength. If I'm not going to be coach, I'm not going to be anything else. So that's where the disagreement came in, and it's expected that Kotoko would be doing the official announcement soon. But clearly CK is not happy because it was in similar circumstances that he left Ash Gold. He left because apparently there was another white coach coming, and surprisingly he's been sacked, and it has been reported that he would be replaced by the current Ash Gold coach, who is also another white man.
If you follow Ghana football history and club history, you know that this is not new at all, and it's incredibly sad. Remind us of what he has been able to do in 9 months.
He's done a lot, and he's taken Kotoko all the way to the group stage, the money zone in the Confederations Cup, and they hadn't done that since 2008. And he came back, redeveloped the team, and played in the Tier 1. That's the actual league in Ghana, since we don't have a league at the moment, the normalization special competition. He won that, and then that means that automatically Kotoko will play in the CAF Champions League, which is an upgrade on the Confederations Cup. And also, even in the Tier 2, he got to the semi-final and narrowly lost to Ash Gold. So it's been an incredible 9 months in terms of achievement, and anyone would have their eyebrows raised as to why you would question CK Akono and what he has done for Kotoko.
Right, so we'll delve into that later. You can get details as they come in on myjoyonline.com. Thank you, Riku, for your help with the review of the Cup of Nations so far. The round of 16 begins pretty shortly, and tomorrow we do a more holistic analysis of how the teams fare on the left side of the draw and the right side of the draw, and ask how easy will it be for Ghana to go to the final. Don't forget, Ghana play Tunisia on Monday. I'm Gary Smith, and that's the sport for now.